It may be the dumbest and the most dangerous idea in the history of bad ideas. I'm talking about the planned walkout at hundreds of schools across the country and dozens in New Jersey in support of the students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. And that's not to say these students shouldn't have a voice. Of course they should. They're on the front lines of these school shootings. But like many movements, it starts pure and noble, and then it's infected by politics. The students in Parkland felt righteous indignation that adults have failed to keep them safe. They marched on the state capitol in Florida. They dominated the national news, including this CNN town hall. It matters not if you agree or disagree with them politically. They have the right to say enough because they are the ones who survived. But others took notice of the attention the kids from Parkland were getting and saw an opportunity, including the organizers of the Women's March, a national anti-Trump protest that compelled millions to take to the streets in 2017, right after the inauguration. Now, the organizers tried another Women's March in 2018, but they got half the numbers and half the attention. Their anti-Trump movement was dwindling. And then they saw this. The kids from Parkland were dominating the stage, and the organizers of the Women's March said, well, if you can't beat them, join them. It is the organizers of the Women's March who are behind the student walkout on March 14th. On their website, they're bragging that over 1,600 schools have already signed up, including dozens in New Jersey. They are asking that students walk out on March 14th at 10 a.m. and then stay outside for 17 minutes in honor of the 17 victims in Parkland. Do I even need to tell you why in this climate, publicizing that students across the country are going to walk outside on a specific day at a specific time and then stand out there for 17 minutes is a really bad idea? God forbid there is a copycat madman out there, not sickened but inspired by Nicholas Cruz, the shooter in Parkland. March 14th might provide a soft target opportunity difficult for a sick mind to pass up. We already know that there are potential school shooters in our midst. In California, police arrested a 17-year-old high school senior who made threats against his school. They found 2 AR-15s and 90 high-capacity magazines in his home. There have been hundreds of arrests across the country on specific threats and dozens in New Jersey. That is why every school official and every law enforcement officer I have spoken to is against the idea of the walkout. They think it's a risk not worth taking. And yet the organizers persist. This is what happens when adults with an agenda hijack passion. This is when a positive becomes a negative. This is when the safety of children becomes secondary to politics. Again, allowing children to have a voice in the debate is noble and important, but keeping those children safe is much more important. Here is hoping that the organizers of the Women's March are able to see beyond their own political bias and understand that what they're promoting is dangerously biased. This continued call for a walkout is antithetical to its own purpose. You can't claim that you want to keep these children safe and then make them targets at the same time. That's why I hope the organizers of the Women's March pay attention to their own hashtag. Enough. I'm Larry Menti. Talk to you again next week.